What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to Addiction is a Scam. I'm Breaking Chains. You can call me BC, and everything you see here is the Stigma Lounge. Today's a very special day for Addiction is a Scam, the Stigma Lounge, just the whole overall channel, the ideas, everything. This is the first episode that will get put up on the platform, and I really wanted to get this out yesterday, so I'm a day. It's like a belated, and we're doing that. We're dedicating that first episode to our veterans. Um, Belated Veterans Day, but thank you all, each and every one of you, for your service. Um, the reason I felt it was important to bring the first episode about and kind of coincide it with Veterans Day is because, unfortunately, a lot of our veterans do suffer from mental health, do suffer from substance abuse, and we even find that we see a lot of our veterans even homeless. So I felt like the only way I saw appropriate to launch this channel with what I want to do with it and how I want to help people and the things I want to attack with it is to start with the most important people amongst our society, and that is our active military members and our veterans. Because if it wasn't for our veterans, we wouldn't have our freedom. Like, they literally had to go fight for our freedom. Like, when you get up in the morning and you don't have to worry about anything other than going downstairs to take a well, guess who you can thank for that? You can thank a veteran for that, because there's places in this world, believe it or not, that you can't just do that. I mean, you might be able to walk out into the woods or something, or find a hole, or you might even be privy enough to have uh, someone who you work for who or owns you that has nice things, and you can use the bathroom when they let you. Um, but we live in a beautiful place, and it's because of our veterans that we're able to do that. And that's why it's so sad that they do unfortunately suffer from substance abuse issues, and I'm not saying all of them, but there is a good amount that fall victim to mental health or substance abuse. And then there's portions of them that even find themselves homeless. So that's why that is. It's just, that's the top. We have what we have. We can do what we can do because of them. So I want to touch on that before I sit y'all down and chat. Um, I also want you all to take a minute, if you have a loved one who's a veteran, even if they're active military, give them a shout out in the comment section. If you don't, just simply say something nice to our veterans. Show them your appreciation, show them your love, give them a heart. Um, when they come across this and they see all that love and support, it's going to put a smile on their face, and I feel like the world needs more of that. And then the second thing I need to run down quick, because it is the first episode, is not a paid sponsorship. Nothing here is a paid sponsorship. Gift from hometown lady, owns a beverage center, knew I was a Yankee fan, gifted me that. Not even a Michigan Wolverine fan, just got behind them because of the run and the coaches getting suspended and all the things, and just those kids, their backs were against the wall, and it was the media was on them, and the NCAA was on them, and there was literally people in that locker room that could have went to the NFL. They came back to try to win a national championship, and I don't care who you are, if it's for a good reason, and people are on you like that, I'm gonna get behind you every single time. I'm gonna have your back every single time because nobody deserves to be made to feel that way. And like I said, if it's for the right reasons, I'll stand there with you. So I was at the hobby shop. That hat caught my eye. I said, you know what? I'll wear that thing. See what happens. They made the playoffs. They won the championship, so it'll forever be a part of the Stigma Lounge. And then the most important piece I need to touch on is this right here. Still learning. Yes, addiction is a scam. The acronym A.I.A.S. That's all me. That's all mine. That's all this. That's the platform. The Stigma Lounge. That's all me. That's all mine. That's all this. The set. The jet, though. The jet, that's not really mine. I know it's got my letters in there, but that's not mine. And I want to make it very well known, clear that I am not trying to make that look like a business logo. That is nothing more than what I call creative fandom. Um, Mr. Johnson took his chips and instead of trying to position them, he said, bam, right in the middle. Devontae, here. Hassan, come on, let's go. And he just went all in. I essentially did the same thing. Yeah, you got a little helmet over here, threw the sticker on the wall. Um, got myself a Sauce Gardner jersey, hoping that you know the platform blows up and Mr. Johnson's like, I'm so glad that jet is behind you, and he gets me one of those big old sauce chains. Um, and so that's all that is. At the first instance, obviously, I would anyways because of legality purposes. But if anybody in the organization, anything was like, hey, dude, blah, 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 I'd get it out of there instantly. But to be crystal clear, one last time, there's zero affiliation between Addiction is a Scam, myself, BC, or the Stigma Lounge and the New York Jets. None whatsoever. So, with that being said, why don't I bring y'all in? Y'all gonna have a seat, get a cup of coffee, grab water, whatever you gotta do. But come on in, sit down. Gonna have to fix that because I hit the wrong button. Damn it. Spoiler alert. So Sunday night I was getting ready, laid down for I lay down in my bed and I get out my phone usually and I'll go through my news and just kind of see what's happening locally and you know being nosy, there's like no like the news these days is so funny because it's like either such and such got trouble for this or this guy's door got kicked in because he had a pet squirrel and it's just it's wildness on there. But I came across a video and we're gonna watch it. I'm gonna react to it for y'all. But about 3 minutes long. And actually, let me preface things by saying this: you will never see me or hear me speak, talk, allude to any sort of politics on this platform. I don't I don't believe well, I'll just do it like this. Number one, it's just not smart business. It's just not. But that's not even why I won't do that. Um, I won't do that because of what we're trying to achieve here. We're trying to educate people. We're trying to spread knowledge and information. It's a whole new animal these days with the drugs that are on our streets. Again, getting into all that on Thursday night. Tune in. I think we're doing 9, but I don't know because that's still pretty early on the West Coast. So don't be surprised if we go with 10 o'clock Thursday night. I will keep the social media pages updated about that stuff, but whatever time we go with this Thursday, that will be the time moving forward. Um, and I will tell you one more little thing. After we get some guest episodes in, I am looking to shoot these things live. I don't want to edit them. Not because I'm being lazy, because I feel like this topic, what we're doing here, needs to be pure, needs to be authentic. You know, we're literally trying to save lives, not make movies. So, back to why I won't ever anything to do with politics. Like, we are the United States of America. And I feel like it doesn't matter whether you're right, left, whatever, that there's, guess what? People on the right that suffer from mental health issues, substance abuse issues, or have family members that do. There's people on the left that suffer from mental health or substance abuse or have family members who do. So I don't really see where politics jive in trying to help everyone navigate through those things and educate them, prevent the youth from it, all of it. Um, so I was actually at a crossroads when I came back on last Tuesday. My little sticker, because I only had 2 little stickers up there so far, and I want to kind of get the old NASCAR look going with all the stickers down the side of the car. And I was like, man, I want to put my voted sticker up there, but like, if the person I voted for doesn't win, then they're gonna be like, oh, he voted for da 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 da. That's why that sticker's up there, or vice versa. But I threw it up there because I was okay with whatever happened. And the fact that it wasn't just a presidential election. I voted on my town level. I voted on my county level. I voted on my state level. And I voted on my federal level. So if I'm never going to talk politics, why in the hell did we just take 2, 3, 4 minutes to to go through all that? Well, the reason we did that is because I accidentally gave you a sneak peek, and I don't think I'm going to edit that out because of the authenticity that I want to give you. I watched this 3-minute video of this speech that he gave, and it just like directly aligns with everything I've been building since the January, February of this year. Um, and again, I don't want to give too much away from the next episode, but this it actually started way back in 2018. Um, that's when I knew I wanted to do something. I just didn't know how I wanted to go about it. Didn't know when I was going to find the time to go about it if I did come up with a way to go about it. And blah 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 blah. Here we are. So what I did back then, real quick, is I started making notes in my phone. So whether it was like a marketing idea, whether it was like educational stuff, like whether it was like I saw like a place like where you could get education or get certified, like just anything like that that had anything to do with recovery and helping others and any of that stuff. And I just made notes in my phone and um and I have my views on things. I Last nugget I'm giving you from Thursday. I uh I was not a fan of rehabs. I've never stepped foot in an AA meeting, never once. Um, I've only ever been to one inpatient, and that was because it was court mandated. And I also have only been to two outpatients, again, court mandated. Um, Tune in Thursday. With all that being said, let's take a look at this video. Um, I'm gonna pull that up. I'm gonna grab myself a swell of coffee, and let's listen to what he has to say.
Our once great cities have become unlivable, unsanitary nightmares, surrendered to the homeless, the drug addicted, and the violent and dangerously deranged. We're making many suffer for the whims of a deeply unwell few, and they are unwell indeed. The homeless have no right to turn every park and sidewalk into a place for them to squat and do drugs. Americans should not have to step over piles of needles and waste as they walk down a street, a beautiful city, or at least once beautiful city, because they've changed so much over the last 10 years. Our first concern.
Now, he's got way with words, doesn't he? Um, so he's not wrong what he's talking about. I'll give him that. He's not wrong. Um, I would just like to say that as someone who has, I mean, as someone who has experienced all those things outside of like literally setting up a camp, like a tent in a park, like I've been homeless. I've been very addicted to drugs. Um, I've been at points where I just felt like society don't give a damn about me. So why should I give a damn about society? And I'm definitely not sticking up for people that they do their little thing and they just chuck it because they're mad at themselves and they're mad at society and all the things. I'm absolutely not sticking up for that. I will say this though. When we're in those deep, deep addiction states of mind, um, we don't even love and respect ourselves. We can't even begin to understand why our family worries about us. In fact, it usually pisses us off. Um, so the last thing really on the minds of individuals at that point in their lives is like, you know, picking up after themselves and making sure that the man in the suit can walk by a nice park. You know what I mean? It's a different mindset. I'm not taking one side or the other there because I truly believe that kids should be able to go down and throw the baseball in the park and not have to worry about needles and feeling scared because there's disheveled men and women sleeping on the bench or have a tent set out. I'm not with all that. But what I am with is getting them help. So let's Let's see what else he has to say.
Consideration should be the rights and safety of the hardworking, law-abiding citizens who make our society function. When I'm back in the White House, we will use every tool, lever, and authority to get the homeless off our streets. We want to take care of them, but they have to be off our streets. There is nothing compassionate about letting these individuals live in filth and squalor rather than getting them the help that they need. We need professionals to help them. For a small fraction of what we spend upon Ukraine, we could take care of every homeless veteran in America. Our veterans are being treated horribly. Likewise, with
It's so true. Like, it's so flippin' true. And it's so wrong. Like, it pisses me off because, like, of all people, like, you're going to treat the veterans that way. Now y'all can kind of see why it's a little bit coming full circle. Um, like, like, damn, man. Like, there's places they don't need to be homeless. And, like, little peek behind the curtain. So, um, in 1996, my biological father, I don't really have any. There's nobody in my life that I call dad. But the he went away for murder, and we little talk here and there, whatever. Maybe my aunt would put a little bit of money on the phone or something, and then if after I had my daughter, once in a while I'd throw some money on it. And he called me in 2000. It's like the end of 2017. It was around hunting season, um, and we talked like for a little while from like then until like ice fishing 2018 season. Um, and he started telling me about like how he was, I don't ever think I'm getting out of here, blah 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 blah. But at the same time, he's telling me about these classes that they're making him take. They're like 6 month classes, and it's like I'm paraphrasing now, but they're like reacclimation to society classes. And I'm like, dude, like you're crazy. You don't think that they're letting you out of there? Like, why would they make you take these classes if they're not gonna send you home? Like, come on. Um, and maybe he was trying to do that whole like, you know, reverse psychology on reality type thing that people can fall victim to. Um, but where I'm going with that is like we do that for our inmates. Um, and this isn't a knock on him. Like I'm not trying to rip him by no means right now, but like he was in there for murder. So like we'll do that for a incarcerated individual who's incarcerated for murder, but we don't have these contingency plans for our veterans, like to help them cope and deal with the things that they maybe saw or did when they were in a lot of them, war, and the ones that like I'm not old enough to to know a whole ton about like the Vietnam stuff. I've heard stories from like at a study hall monitor. They would tell me like some stories about he'd have to go like and there'd be like these holes in the ground and like stick his hand down in there with his pistol and just shoot around and then go down to see what's down there. Um, but I'm certainly old enough to have watched those towers fall, and then the people that signed up after that, like it's like dinosaur balls to sign up to go to war right after that happened. And the fact that we don't have anything like set up for these people when they come home from that stuff, and I mean I'm sure there's a few things, but obviously not enough. Um, and the stuff he's mentioning there, lastly, and then we'll let him go a little. We'll let him go. But like these are things that are wrote it like in my business plan, like that I want to do from the private sector. So to hear uh President Trump talk about wanting to do these things also is like so heartwarming. Um, it's awesome.
All of the money we will save by ending mass unskilled migration, we will have a huge dividend to address this crisis in our own country. Under my strategy, working with states, we will ban urban camping wherever possible. Violators of these bans will be arrested, but they will be given the option to accept treatment and services if they're willing to be rehabilitated. Many of them don't want that, but we'll give them the option. We will then open up large parcels of inexpensive land, bring in doctors, psychiatrists, social workers, and drug rehab specialists, and create 10 cities where the homeless can be relocated and their problems identified. But we'll
This is so on point. Like in my notes here, I put down to make sure that I told y'all like there's a few things, but one of the biggest things is like there's so many of us that will gladly go do that work that he's talking about because I don't think that it would be fair for your everyday police officer. I don't think it would be fair to ask them to go in and police that. And I don't think it. This is whatever. We can get some blowback on this one, but whatever. And I also don't think it's fair to for the homeless, the drug addicts, and all them to have actual police officers coming in, full uniform, badge, pistols on their hip, handcuffs, all the things, um, to give them these ultimatums because, like, PTSD from police is it's a real thing. Like, um, I absolutely, absolutely, if not still, definitely have suffered from that. Like, um, so I just think, you know, maybe there's a ton of us. I have get just my guest list alone that y'all will get to see. So many brilliant individuals who would love to do things like this. So whether you do it like a peer support specialist, team of peer support specialists go in and like, so you present like here's your things, man. Like you got you can do this, and here's the program. Here's where you can go, or I gotta grab this and make a phone call, and you know, then the guys with the badges and the pistols and the handcuffs, then they are coming. Like I swore an oath, so to speak, that I would come here to give you your options, talk to you man to man, woman to woman, however man to woman, however the conversation was going. But that way we can be assured that there's no just instant conflict. Um, Not to mention like, and this is just this is human nature. Like these police officers have to see like overdoses. They have to they find people dead, and then and they see awful things like that. It would infuriate me. Certainly, I go and like look at that stuff that happened in New York City not that long ago at that daycare, and those kids died because of the fentanyl that was being stashed like under the floor or whatever the hell was going on down there. That pissed me off, and I'm not even like nothing to. If any of y'all know me, never really been one to have too much good to say about police, anyways. Um, I've met some better ones as I've gotten older, and the trust has gotten a little better, but never been a fan of the police. And and that stuff made me mad because those are innocent children dying. And my point is with that, there's um, there's aggression there. And that's just human nature. There's built up aggression there. So when you would go in and see this stuff going on, it just kind of makes for a a pretense situation before it even becomes anything before it even starts. So that's why I would advocate for going about it that way, and not so much the way of just sending in, police officers right away and being like, "Hey, you want to get arrested or do you want to go to rehab?" So I'm loving the stuff he's saying, and I'm hoping that we can get like the perfect hybrid. Like, man, I wish that if any of y'all got a link to him, like, help me get me and the people I've been talking to. Let's get us all in a think tank, please. Well, let's check out what else he had to say. It's I think there's like a minute and a half left, maybe.
Open up our cities again, make them livable, and make them beautiful. For those who are just temporarily down on their luck, we will work to help them quickly reintegrate into a normal life. For those who have addictions, substance abuse, and common mental health problems, we will get them into treatment. And for those who are severely mentally ill and deeply disturbed, we will bring them back to mental institutions where they belong, with the goal of reintegrating them back into society once they are well enough to manage. It's a tough task, a very tough task. What's taken place on the streets, what's taken place with their taking so much drugs. But the fact is, we're going to try.
This one a little bit biased for me to touch on, so I won't spend a lot of time on it. Um, damn it, y'all are getting way too much out of me. This stuff is not supposed to be till Thursday, but so the idea here is use the platform, try to build the show, always have the show, always keep the show going no matter what. But try to build the show, spread knowledge, get the attention of the youth, kind of send the message of let us be the ones that did this the hard way. Um, please trust us. But also, like I said, hopefully someday get some sponsorships going, start generating some money, put that money to work, and um, the end game is to open what I call practical sober living houses and proper rehabilitation centers. So, you know, tent cities on cheap land. However he worded that, that's not exactly what's written up in my business plan, but it's the same kind of concept. So I'm biased on that one. Won't spend much time. Love it though. Love the idea. Super. I don't care. I don't care which side of the aisle you're on. If I didn't say this yet already, because with my throat last night and just different things, I've like taken a few different cracks at shooting this video. It'd be like if your grandmother was dying of cancer and your arch nemesis had the cure. Well, are you going to just let your grandmother die because the person that you can't stand has the cure for it? If you would, holy Christ, you better get yourself in one of them tents because you got some you got some thinking to do. Um, so my point with that is like like him, love him, hate him, indifferent. These are great ideas. They're rational, they're logical. There's like you could dissect it any which way. There's not like what, you know what I mean? And if you can please, I am not Houdini. I am not a fortune teller. I don't have a crystal ball. If you can see like ways that this could be manipulated into like other ways, or lead back to mass incarceration or something like that, please let me know in the comments, because I want that perspective. I to take that in to utilize that in the stuff that I'm trying to do. So please let me know those things. But so far, what I have seen, I don't really see, I don't really see too many holes in it, in the sense of like that, like, okay, we're saying this, but then what actually gets done is this. I'm not really seeing that in this. It seems pretty straightforward and pretty pure to me. Let's let him finish up.
This strategy will be far better and also far less expensive than spending vast sums of taxpayer money to house the homeless in luxury hotels without addressing their underlying issues. And they have so many of these underlying issues and needs. This is how I will end the scourge of homelessness and make our cities clean and safe and beautiful once again. We will do it. We will bring back America. Thank you.
Hell yeah, I hope we do. I honestly hope we do. And I'm not clapping Donald Trump right there. I ultimately am. But I'm clapping is the rationale, the logic, the what seems like passion to want to fix these issues that have been plaguing our country for way too long. Like, how many of y'all grew up like with friends, or maybe someone you looked up to, or like your buddy's little brother, your buddy's older brother, and like they started doing drugs, and they may not even be alive. Like, I swear, I was just telling someone this the other day. Like, it literally seems like probably twice a month now, and that's not even exaggerating. And I don't live in a very big area, that I get a text from someone, that like someone around my age, or that we used to maybe when we were younger and would like actually have like parties, like fun parties, has died of some one way or another drug overdose. Um, it sucks. Like, it super sucks, and we gotta do something about it. So the fact that it's being talked about is awesome. One thing I forgot to do before that video was I I came across that video on Newsbreak. So if you go check out at JJ Smith at Newsbreak, I did have it overlaid in the screen there, so you could see um, his little handle and all the stuff looked like. I don't know if that's even his video, but that's where I saw it, so I wanted to give him his flowers on that. So yeah, that's what that's what jump started me to say, you know what, I got an idea now. I, I'm gonna I've been planning on doing it this way and kind of releasing it this way, and ba 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 ba. And then once I saw that video, and it was like, man, this is like what I've been working on like for the whole year. This is like what I've been trying to build the podcast for, and like I'm so excited. I hope. Like, he's already won the presidency. He's got no reason to be just politicking now. So I gotta believe that he really wants to get after this. I know for a fact all the people in the cities want the parks cleaned up. They want the streets cleaned up. They want the homeless off them. It has gotten out of control. So I do believe that that it'll be rather quick once he gets in office that they'll tackle that. Um, there's a lady, she's 99.9999999999999% sure she's gonna be the first guest that I air on the show. She's a doctor down in South Carolina, and I'm gonna let her tell you all about the way she approaches her clients and stuff like that. But man, she's got it figured out, and she'd be a hell of a person for someone in his team to sit down with and talk to because um, not only is her resume just impeccable, but she's very, very, very intelligent lady. Definitely one of the smartest people that I've ever spoke with. Um, and it's just people like her, and there's others um, I continue to meet that just have such a passion for wanting to do everything he's talking about. I was so pumped when I saw that video. I literally was like, "That's it. I'm releasing a video." I'm pretty sure like half of the people I've been working with, I haven't checked my messenger yet. Were like kind of like shell shocked when I said I'm releasing da da da. It'll make sense when I post it. Um, so yeah, please, if you like the video, if you found it informative, you know all the deals. Give it the likes, the comment stuff that works. But I wanted you to do that for our veterans, for our veterans. Um, if you can't, if you can't think of anything like that, then just tell me how wrong I am about believing that Trump will try to solve this problem, or if on a serious note, if there is things that I'm just missing because I'm so excited that like holy shit, we're gonna actually like try to work on this. Um, please, because you know, I could very well be um, blinded by hope. Um, and yeah, uh, I will leave it with one last thing, and that is all of you men and women out there, active duty, veterans, any of you have anything to do with the military, the appreciation, the love, the support that I want to give and show you is impossible to do verbatim, especially over the internet. So please know that you're loved, you're appreciated on those hard days. Like, don't get down on yourself. Don't beat yourself up because there's so many of us out here that we can't say enough good things about y'all. We can't even show enough appreciation for our thankfulness, our gratefulness. And if anybody's struggling with anything, don't be afraid to reach out, especially nowadays. Like, it's so dangerous now. You gotta like carry test kits around with you, and like you never know what you're really buying, and people are so grimy and shady too. It's just my inbox is open. I'll definitely, this isn't some humongous platform. Like I will see comments if you need someone to talk to. Comment on there. We will exchange emails or whatever the case may be to talk. But just remember, you're all loved. All your lives are worth it. This isn't an easy fight, but I believe we can win it. Until I see y'all on Thursday, Thanks for stopping by.